Which of these two shots would you say is more colorful? If you're like 90% of people from the survey, you would choose this shot, even though the other shot has much more colors. This is something we called the paradox of a colorful shot. Here's the director of Whiplash, La La Land and Babylon, Damien Chazelle, explaining it.
Sometimes another misconception you have is, I want the movie to be really colorful. So you just throw a ton of color on screen. All the different colors of the rainbow, you wind up having a shot that doesn't feel colorful. If you say, this shot is going to be blue and red, this shot is going to be yellow and green. That's something I really learned from Vincent Minnelli. Vibrancy of colors rests entirely in counterpoint of those colors. The less colors you're counterpointing, and the stronger the choices you're making in each of those colors that you're counterpointing, the more you feel it.
Everything that Damien Chazelle just said is also backed up by science. The human eye naturally finds a limited color palette more appealing because it simplifies the image, reducing visual chaos. The brain is constantly processing thousands of visual stimuli. A limited palette reduces the cognitive load by narrowing the range of colors the brain has to decode, allowing viewers to focus on the composition, emotions, and story rather than being overwhelmed by excessive details. A scene dominated by just a few colors allows the viewer to absorb the mood and focus on the narrative without distractions. When a limited palette is used, individual colors take on more significance due to the psychological principle of color relativity. A single color surrounded by neutral or muted tones appears more vivid and emotionally impactful than it would in a busy, multicolored scene. In a predominantly gray frame, a lone red object becomes electrifying, commanding attention and amplifying its narrative importance. This is because the brain processes color contextually, and the fewer competing colors there are, the stronger each remaining color becomes. When fewer colors are present, the eye naturally focuses on contrasts and key details. This creates a visual hierarchy where certain elements pop, while others recede into the background. This is especially important in storytelling to guide the viewer's attention. Restricting a palette also taps into color memory, where scenes dominated by a few distinct colors are more likely to linger in the viewer's mind. Humans are naturally wired to remember simpler visuals, which is why iconic moments in cinema often employ a restricted palette. A bit off topic, but these pink chairs from 2001: A Space Odyssey go so hard, unlike the chair I've been using to edit all these videos. So I was thrilled when FlexiSpot, the sponsor of this video, sent us their new chair. I've been using it for the last couple of weeks, and my back has been thankful ever since. Going from this to this feels like going from watching Madame Web to watching The Godfather. There is a saying that it's good to invest in things that come between you and the ground: mattress, shoes,
those must be comfortable shoes,
and of course a good chair. The biggest difference of the new C7 chair compared to the older one I was using is that C7 is an ergonomic chair, which means it's designed to support proper posture, reduce strain on the body, and enhance comfort by accommodating the natural alignment of the spine and providing adjustable features. The lumbar support cushion detects subtle changes in posture and automatically adjusts itself as you move around to ensure constant support. Basically, everything on this chair is adjustable, from the height to the armrests. And the wide and large seat cushion ensures better support and relaxation for extended sitting periods. And last but not least, maybe my favorite feature of the chair, the hidden extended footrest, perfect for having a quick rest or even a nap. If you want to learn more about the C7 FlexiSpot chair and get one for yourself, check out the link in our description. Thanks FlexiSpot for making our work easier. Now, let's get back to the video. In chromatic composition, color contrast dictates the viewer's gaze. Warm, saturated hues like red or yellow naturally draw attention, while cooler or desaturated tones recede into the background. Instead of using leading lines or physical barriers, distinct blocks of color can segment the frame. This creates visual tension or harmony, depending on the color's relationships. A monochromatic palette, using shades and tints of a single hue, can unify a composition and evoke a strong emotional response. Negative space doesn't have to be a literal blank area. It can also be created using vast, uniform fields of color. Gradual color transitions can guide the viewer's eyes along a path within the frame, mimicking the effect of a leading line. But what happens when this flow is deliberately disrupted? Enter color pattern interruption. In visual storytelling, patterns provide structure, consistency, and rhythm within a frame. They make the composition feel predictable and harmonious. But sometimes, the most impactful moments arise when you break the pattern, a technique known as pattern interruption. By introducing a contrasting color or element into a repetitive visual scheme, filmmakers can create tension, direct attention, or evoke emotion. Pattern interruption leverages the human brain's tendency to notice deviations in repetitive sequences. In the context of color, this means inserting a hue that contrasts sharply with a prevailing palette or disrupting a rhythm of uniform tones. The interruption draws immediate focus, signaling importance or change. Color-based pattern interruptions often rely on contrast. The greater the contrast, whether in hue, saturation, or brightness, the stronger the visual and emotional impact. But for a pattern interruption to stand out, there must first be a deliberate structure to disrupt. The audience must recognize the visual rhythm, which is why filmmakers spend a lot of time building repetition through color. This is where the 60-30-10 color rule comes into play. A widely used guideline in design and filmmaking, the 60-30-10 rule organizes color proportions to create visual harmony and guide the viewer's attention. By establishing a dominant color, a secondary color, and an accent color, filmmakers can craft a cohesive visual palette that feels balanced and intentional, and ensures that no single color overwhelms the composition. While initially popularized in interior design, the rule's effectiveness in creating aesthetic appeal and directing focus naturally found its way into other visual mediums, including films. The principle originated in interior design, where it was used to create spaces that felt cohesive and visually appealing. By assigning specific roles to each color, dominant for the primary backdrop, secondary for complementary elements, and accent for focal points, designers could craft environments that were both striking and balanced. Its adaptability and simplicity made it a go-to guideline for visual creators across disciplines. In the world of filmmaking, where visual storytelling is paramount, the 60-30-10 rule became a tool to control the palette of a scene. Filmmakers discovered that applying this principle could influence mood, reinforce themes, and guide the audience's focus. Cinematographers and production designers began using it to plan set design, costumes, and lighting schemes, ensuring that every frame felt deliberate and harmonious. This idea of reducing visual chaos and guiding the viewer's attention naturally leads us to another fascinating aspect of cinematic composition: the power of threes, not just in color palettes, but also in how filmmakers arrange characters within a frame. 3 characters in a shot often feel inherently satisfying because they create a sense of balance and dynamism that 2 or 4 characters struggle to achieve. Unlike 2 characters, which can feel overly symmetrical or static, 3 introduce an asymmetry that encourages the viewer's eye to move fluidly across the frame. This arrangement often forms a triangular composition, which adds depth, stability, and a clear hierarchy. It subtly communicates relationships, conflicts, or alliances among the characters while keeping the frame visually engaging. The number 3 resonates deeply in human psychology. It often represents completeness, beginning, middle, and end, and stability, a tripod being more stable than a chair with 4 legs on uneven ground. In film, both 3 characters and 3 colors can evoke a sense of wholeness while still allowing room for movement and tension. This makes the scene both satisfying and stimulating for the audience. This principle can also be seen in how filmmakers use 3 colors in a scene. While we've already explored how a limited palette helps guide attention, the use of 3 colors goes beyond simplicity. It mirrors the dynamic interaction of 3 characters. Each color serves a specific purpose. The dominant color establishes the mood, the secondary color enhances or contrasts it, and the accent color acts like the 3rd character, standing out to command attention or emphasize a specific narrative element. Both techniques, 3 characters and 3 colors, achieve harmony and focus by creating deliberate relationships within the frame. Just as the characters interact to tell a story, the colors interact to evoke emotion and direct attention. This parallel reveals a deeper connection between composition and color, showing how both can work together to create cinematic moments that feel purposeful and complete. If you want to color grade your videos and photos like movies and TV shows, check out our Movie LUTs and Lightroom profiles. The link for it is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.